Alright, so yes, we are talking about the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Cup Series race, which wrapped up about 30 minutes or so ago. Finally getting to sit down and record this, had some other things to take care of. Alright, so let's just go straight to the time about the winner and the top finisher. So over there on the sidebar, we have gone and put up the race results. So Josh Berry with an incredible day. Ran very well almost all day long inside the top 10. A lot of the time at the edge of that top 5. Broke into the top 5 at points. And ultimately, coming down the end of the race, luck favored him down the stretch with the, pitting earlier there. Lap 244 for his final pit stop. And yeah, Josh Berry getting his first career win. And getting career win number 101 for the Wood Brothers. I think everybody feels good about this one. Again, that was a chance for Josh Berry to really prove himself. And really, honestly, the 21 looks just as fast as it did way back when Ryan Blaney was in there. So is Penske preparing to expand to a fourth car? Well, I don't think they're allowed to under the current rules. So are they preparing to replace Austin Cindric? Probably a question for another day, but hey, great job for Josh Berry. Again, making that car look just as fast as when Ryan Blaney was in it almost a decade ago now. Okay, let's not talk about that. Let's keep talking about some of these other names on this list, because there was a lot of surprising names on the list. Daniel Suarez was on the verge of winning a race at a 1.5-mile track, something he has not done yet. Well, technically he has that win at Atlanta last year, but Atlanta is a very different style of racing to the style of racing here. This is a very traditional 1.5-mile race track. And again, Daniel Suarez was so close to winning this one, and I think that would have definitely calmed down a lot of the Daniel Suarez critics / haters, where a lot of people have not been overly supportive of Daniel Suarez, and or at least talking about him as a potential spot that that NASCAR Xfinity Series hot shot Connor Zilisch could be preparing to replace. And certainly through the first 4 weeks of the season, I think that was absolutely a very real possibility. Suarez was not having a great showing, and when he would have a good day, he would get taken out by a wreck that wasn't even his own doing. But again, a good run like this and a win would have absolutely, I think, quieted the comments. But I still think a second place finish, not a bad result through the first couple of weeks. Again, if he can continue to compete like this at the other 1.5 miles, maybe contend for a win at, say, Charlotte. I think absolutely a win would quench any conversation really. But again, Daniel Suarez, second place today, not the worst thing in the world. Ryan Preece coming home in the third position, the top RFK car. Roush as a whole having an amazing day. Ryan Preece, though, manages to get up there near the end, gets that number 60 car and just drives it to the front. And I'm amazed that he managed to stay there, because we saw other lesser powered teams get cars near the front and not be able to stay there. But yeah, so Ryan Preece, though, very impressed that he was able to stay up there. Again, had a very quiet day outside the top 10 for a decent chunk of it, but showed up when it mattered, got a top 5 out of it. William Byron, his speed just faded late. Not sure what exactly happened to that car. I feel like that car and driver should have been a lot better than it ended up being. So, not sure exactly what what happened to William Byron down the stretch, but yeah, ultimately he comes home still with a top 5 at the end of the day. But man, you just wonder what could have been if he'd been able to keep that speed up. Probably would have outright been able to just blow the other 3 out the water. Because the Hendrick cars were on a different level today. Ross Chastain, again, another great day for the for the Trackhouse racing team. Suarez and Chastain, both of them having great days, and I think they both needed it. Ross not quite as much as Suarez, but I think as the better that Suarez does, I think the heat will increase on Chastain, even though I think Chastain should theoretically be safe. Yeah, so that's one of those things where I think those two will have a very almost unhealthily competitive competition between the two of them as we get ready for again Connor Zilic, who is lighting it up in the Xfinity Series. Yeah, so again, Chastain, good top 5 today. We'll talk about the third Trackhouse car here in a moment. But Austin Cindric ending up as the best Penske car at the end of the day. Best in-house Penske car, because I am fully aware that Josh Berry machine is undoubtedly powered by Penske. So, yeah, good job for Austin Cindric. He qualified really well and manages to finish at the front near the when it mattered. He also won stage 1, so that was some good bonus points for him as well. And really, yes, I think Austin Cindric really needed some good points because, again, he also kind of missed out on some good points at the end of the Daytona 500 and some of the other races early on in this season. So today, I think, is a good one to potentially say, hey, I'm here and I'm actually going to contend for this one. Also might help him not getting bumped out by Barry. So, again, we'll revisit this probably in a few months to see where the two of them are at. But, again, Austin Cindric, I think he is going to... This race, I think, leading 47 laps today really makes it a question mark of, okay, how far can he go? Is he the next Penske driver to win a championship? Who knows? Probably not, but... Yeah, then we have Alex Bowman coming home in the 7th position for Alex Bowman. He ran a really good race today. He had a pit road penalty at one point in the middle of it, managed to rally back from it. Again, just had a very quiet day at the back end of the top 10 for a lot of it. But ultimately coming home in the 7th position, good day for Alex Bowman. He was my pre-race pick, so sorry, Alex Bowman, for the speeding penalty. Dire curse strikes again. Then we have AJ Allmendinger, a driver who has actually gotten 2 NASCAR Xfinity Series wins at this track, including the most recent Xfinity Series race at Las Vegas Motors. Well, I guess I should say the most recent Xfinity race prior to this weekend at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But, yeah, good job for AJ Allmendinger, running pretty well at one of what I would assume at this point is one of his best oval tracks. So, good on him for that. And coming home in the 8th position, great job. He was inside the top 10 for a decent chunk of the final stage. Kyle Larson running up inside the top 10, top 5, leading 61 laps en route to the stage 2 win. Got some great points, got a top 10 out of it. Now it's just a question of when will Kyle Larson win his first race of the season. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I have a feeling it's coming soon. And then to finish out the top 10, we have Chase Elliott. All 4 Hendrick cars getting up into that top 10. Again, they were strong today. And shock and surprise, all 4 of them end up in the top 10. Again, when Hendrick's on it, they are on it. Just want to go ahead and mention Chase Elliott. Now we go ahead and keep going down this list a little bit further. We find some of the other Roush Fenway Keselowski guys again. Brad Keselowski having a great day. I think this is one of Roush Fenway Keselowski's best days that wasn't a race win for one of their 3 drivers, or one of their 2 drivers up until this year. But good job for Brad Keselowski coming home in the 11th position. Christopher Bell's 3-peat, trying to go for 4-peat, ends up finishing 12th. It is extremely hard to win 3 races in a row. It's hard to win any NASCAR race. It's extremely hard to win 2 in a row, and as we all know, 4 in a row is virtually unheard of. And Christopher Bell, not able to get it done today, and again, I think he will be more than happy with his 3 wins, and now we go to Homestead where he can start his quest for the 4-peat all over again, as Homestead is one of his better race tracks. And then circling back to the RFK point from a moment ago, Chris Buescher, the worst of the RFK cars inside the top in 13th place. Great job for Chris Buescher. That RFK company has come so far since Brad Keselowski joined it on as a team owner a couple years ago. At one point, it felt like it was just Brad's retirement home where he would run for maybe a year or 2 before moving in-house to the to a full-time ownership role. But ultimately, Brad Keselowski, I think, has revived it to where I wouldn't put it out the realm of possibility of Brad or any of the three contending for a title down the stretch. Now, do I think all three make it into the playoffs? That might still be a stretch, but I think two of them could easily make it into the playoffs, and one of them could even potentially have a deep playoff run. So, certainly looking forward to it, and all things are looking up, despite Chris Buescher having the unfortunate sounding statistic of being the worst Roush car today. Then we go to Justin Haley, who is the highest performing Spire Motorsports car. The Spire cars had a real rough go of it. Justin Haley had, I think, contact in the pits with somebody. At one point, Michael McDowell had a host of issues from the pole position, included but not limited to, I believe he had a tire going down issue. Luckily, somebody else had a tire blowout first, so Mike McDowell didn't suffer too much. But yep, so Justin Haley coming home in the 14th position. Hocevar also had a couple of issues as well. Just wrong place, wrong time for him. So again, at least they got at least Spire got a car into the top 15. And in fact, at spot number 15, okay, no, it's not Michael McDowell. It's sorry, I had to have a little bit of fun here, but no, it's Joey Logano. He led a decent portion of the opening stint, especially after he was able to get the lead away from Michael McDowell by the end of lap number 2. So good on Joey Logano for that. But ultimately, not the day he was necessarily looking for. He wanted to put that Pennzoil car in Pennzoil Victory Lane in the Pennzoil 400, and he's done that a couple of times, but was not able to do it today. Ends up coming home with a 15th place finish, but hey, he's a good driver, and we know he'll win a race this year. It's just a matter of when, but at this point, who's surprised? Joey Logano will probably 15th place his way to another championship at this rate, so that is going to be our top finishers from today's race. So now let's just get into talking about the race, and I think the logical place to start will be with continuing the storyline that we mentioned earlier with the Trackhouse guys and Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen had, I think, 2 or 3 tires go down way prematurely. I think two of them brought out additional cautions. One of them, he was able to nurse it back to pit road without a caution coming out. So I don't know what SVG was specifically doing with his tires, but it was not working. They were losing tires a lot. But I think it is at least partially on Goodyear because Kyle Busch had a wheel. Now, I think that wheel came completely off, but Kyle Busch had a wheel issue. We saw like 3 or 4 drivers. I think Carson Hocevar had a tire go down at one point. Todd Gilliland, I'm almost certain, had a tire go down. Ryan Blaney had a tire go down prematurely, way before they were even close to the tire window.
Yeah, we blew a tire.
We legitimately had, I think we got about 20 laps in when SVG had his first tire issue. 20 laps into a stage. So he was 20 laps on that set of tires. So again, there's no reason why the tires should have been blowing out that much, but ultimately they were. And again, I hope whatever Goodyear did to these tires, I hope that they can fix them before the next mile-and-a-half race, which is next weekend at Homestead. So, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Prepare Homestead for it and bring 14 sets of tires, please, because the rate these tires were going down, it wasn't even like the tires were there wasn't a whole lot of fall off, which is the other thing that you kind of want in a tire, is you want a fair amount of difference in speed between old tires and new tires. And we did get a chance to see drivers like Michael McDowell were trying strategies late in the race, trying to figure out how to either save a set of tires for the end of the race or trying to get on that differential strategy. And ultimately, it just never seemed to work out for him. I mean, he tried getting on the old tires. He tried everything imaginable to get on some sort of strategy that would work for him. And just there was no real difference between old and new tires. And then by the time there was any small amount of difference, somebody's blowing a tire, whether it was Noah Gragson, Shane Van Gisbergen, Austin Dillon, or SVG again. So the tires definitely is something I would like for NASCAR to address, or at least attempt to try and fix. Obviously, it's not something that can be fixed in time for Homestead. I would hope that maybe by Texas in May, give it 2 months to try and rush out a new tire. I mean, obviously it's not going to be perfect, but again, the tires were the main storyline from tonight, and again, I'm just glad that we didn't have a late race tire blowout and what was going to be a great storyline for Josh Berry. And just want to say that one more time, great job, Josh Berry, on the race win. But yeah, so I think the tires was the last thing here for the episode. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Also, a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters and channel members who got to see this video a little bit early. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video, live stream, whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your day. Have a great day, everybody, and goodbye!